What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. I'm back in these streets. We back in these streets, back in these work streets. But just want to talk right quick, get my thoughts before we hit our shows this week. Final Word, Burgers and Blitzes, The Big Star Show, and Best of Enemies. And I think I'm gonna do something with Dan Rodgers as well. Get his thoughts on this, how camp is going. But obviously, camp has started. We're excited to see it. Uh, I'm not excited as maybe other people. But I have my own reasons. But football season is here, and I still get excited to watch the Cowboys. I still get excited to watch them, in camp and things of that nature. I'm more pessimistic than this year than I usually have been more than any other time. So that's just kind of what I'm dealing with. But first of all, I'm just going to give some news and notes from my end. I'm sure y'all already heard the news and notes. There's 30 million Cowboys people out there nowadays, so there ain't no stone left unturned for this Cowboys content creating now. So I'm sure you already heard it, but you haven't heard it from me. So obviously, we know about the news with Sam Williams. That's tough, really tough, because me and Star just did a show Thursday, and we had Brandon Tucker on there, and Brandon Tucker used to train Sam Williams. And we all were feeling like this could be the year. Like, we were saying, you know, he's got to be more disciplined. He can't make the mistakes. He got to stop doing that. And when we talked to Tuck was like, I totally get it. Him making the mistakes, the bonehead mistakes, the offsides, the personal fouls. You can't make those mistakes. But at the same time, I will agree with Tuck when he said, when somebody's chomping at the bit and feels like he should get more playing time and should play more, when you do get them limited reps, you press because you want to impress. You want to stay on the field, so you'll do whatever to impress. So sometimes you over press and mistakes happen. And I can definitely feel that, because you can do that in all walks of life, not just sports or football. But it's a devastating news in the fact that I really felt like Sam Williams was going to take the next step this year. We were wanting to see it, but I feel like with Dante Fowler gone, with Dorrance Armstrong Jr. gone, even though Michael Parsons was there, we had also talked about, I made the suggestion we got to have Sam Williams, Michael Parsons, and DeMarcus Lawrence on the field at all times. And, we all came to the center of agreement with that needed to happen. So to see Sam just, get hurt like that, I don't know, it just felt like he was going to turn up this year. It just really did. It just felt like he was really going to get his chance. He was really going to turn up, and I don't know if it was going to be a special year, but you got 4 sacks 2 years in part-time work. Full-time, I'm thinking 10 sacks. So that's tough. So we'll see what happens with the waiver wire. We'll see if they bring anybody in. We'll see about that. But this does give an opportunity to Marshon Neal. I know he can rush both on the left and right sides. He's a very versatile athlete. A lot of people have been giving him high marks just without the pads. They getting the pads, I believe, tomorrow. But he has been looking good all the way out. His tape looked really good. Like I said, we had a guy on the show maybe about a little over 2 months ago, and he mentioned Marshon Neal, and he was going in the second round against him. This is a Philly content creator. And I said, let me go watch this dude. And I started watching him. I'm like, hey, he nice. Like, he don't have top end speed. He is like a D-Law in the fact that he don't have the top end speed. He's great against the run. But I think he's a better pass rusher in the sense that he can get to the quarterback, but he can get to the quarterback standing up or his hand in the dirt. And he knows how to gear down. So if the quarterback is running out of his way, he knows how to gear down, track him, and get him on the ground. I saw a lot of that from him. And I think he's going to make an impact this year. To how much impact, I don't know. But I really feel like Marshon Neal is going to be a rookie to be reckoned with, and a lot of people will be talking about him. The Carson kid, I'm going to tell you a lot of the positives, and I'm going to end it with what are my thoughts on Stephen Jones. But the Carson kid, the cornerback, I believe is a Wake Forest, drafted in the 5th round. He looked nice. They call him the seatbelt. He is nice. I seen some footwork tapes on him prior to him even really doing any kind of practice work. But looking at him and just what I've seen, Dallas going to have, if Trevin Diggs comes back, Bland is turning up again in practice. He had a pick 6 interception. Jordan Lewis had a pick. Jordan Lewis, uh, Deron Bland, that Carson kid. I think that Carson kid gonna have some work. We'll see what happens with Eric Scott. I think that Carson kid's farther ahead than him, in my opinion. And then obviously, it's all really going to really depend on Trevin Diggs if he can really come back from that injury, man. So the Trevin Diggs watch is going to be for sure. But that secondary ain't looking so bad right now. We know about the safety room. Safety room is, I think, Wanye is going to take another step. I think he's going to have a good year this year, even though he's undrafted. I think that year on the practice squad really prepped him, and then him getting work this year. I think Wanye is really gonna. I think he's gonna break out. And I don't know if his numbers are gonna be crazy this year, but just feels like he's gonna break out. He just got the attitude, the mentality. I love his attitude. He just seems like a fun-loving kid, man. He just likes to have fun, and I think he's gonna do a lot of good things for the team. I like the linebacker room now. I like Maris. Maris is one of the guys I liked at the Senior Bowl, before the Senior Bowl, and I love the pick. I think he's a really smart kid. He comes down like he's a bat out of hell, and I think him and Kendricks are really going to do something. I think Kendricks is a great addition, even though he's a little longer in the tooth for what Zimmer needs these next year or maybe two. I think he's the perfect guy. You can still move Micah Parsons around. We'll see what Damone Clark does, but competition is in there now, so competition makes you step up or step out. Damian Wilson is back in the fold. He knows the program. He's not hella old. He's a veteran that can bring in veteran stability. This is what you need, and we need a rotation, right? You need bodies. Demarion Overshown, I think everybody's got the Demarion Overshown watch because everybody's expecting big things from him. But he is coming off the knee injury, so Trevin Diggs and him it's going to we're going to see how they work them back in. But Demarion Overshown, yeah, we were all dumb excited about him last year, and I don't think that excitement should wane. So I'm definitely like the young class. Never said Dallas drafted bad. They didn't have great drafts every year, but this was a pretty good draft this past year and last year. They draft well, especially offensive linemen. I think the worst part they draft is the interior. They're pretty good at drafting edges. Safeties, and I don't think they're great. I don't think the Cowboys are great at drafting safeties. They are good drafting corners. I think they're pretty good at drafting linebackers. I think they're good with drafting edges. I don't think they're good with drafting defensive tackles. They are good with drafting offensive linemen. They're a gem. I think they're one of the best in the league at drafting offensive linemen. I don't think they're the best at drafting receivers. They're half and half. Tight ends, a lot of tight ends came in undrafted or late draft picks, so I don't know if they're the best. I'm going to give them half and half. Running backs drafting, they're pretty good. I mean, they drafted DeMarco, Ezekiel. I think they're pretty good at drafting running backs now. Tony Pollard, they're pretty good at drafting running backs and quarterbacks. They're okay. I'm not going to say they're the greatest at drafting quarterbacks, and they're not so great at drafting quarterbacks. They're okay. The lower okay. They're not great at that. But, they're not bad at drafting. I'll admit that. They're not. They just suck in free agency, but that's by their choice. Now, offensive line, Tyler Guyton, I think he's going to be a starter, day one starter. I think he's going to go through it. He never played the left side in the NFL, so I think he's going to go through it. He's going to have his ups and downs, but I think he's going to be like the Tyler Smith. I do. I think he will eventually be a very good left tackle. I think the offensive line is going to be rebuilt, and I don't know if it's going to be the Great Wall of Dallas like it was prior, but it could be. I think Terrence Steele bounces back. Cooper Beebe. Right now, I heard he got some first-team reps, but Brock Hoffman is not letting go. He's really serious about that. So, hey, more powers to Brock Hoffman. I don't believe in an undrafted guy in a 17-game season at center. But, hey, I like Brock Hoffman's attitude and the way he goes hard at it. I think Tyler Guyton will be good, and I think I think that offensive line, Tyler Smith will be a perennial All-Pro in my opinion. So that offensive line will be back. How quick it gels, no one knows. But I like the potential of the offensive lineman. Receivers, obviously CeeDee Lamb is not there. Jalen Brooks, Jalen Tolbert. Hey, Jalen Brooks, we've been saying we've been battling out, and Tolbert has looked like a different player. I said he was nothing but maybe a 4. Maybe he's not a 2, he's a 3 or a 4, but he looking damn good. I wanted him drafted out of South Alabama. I was high on him, but then I kind of soured because I thought he was more robotic. In the way he played last year, didn't know what kind of his top end speed, because he was fast at South Alabama. But I think his playing speed is fast, but he just feels robotic. But he been making catches. He been looking clean. He been looking efficient. So it's looking good for him. I'm excited for him. Jalen Brooks, I like Jalen Brooks. Strong, smooth hands, can run underneath. He can be your guy that can get your tough yards, the Michael Gallup inside. I don't know if he's going to do it deep, but he's going to be getting your inside work. Obviously, you got Brandon Cooks, your holdover. And then Kevontae Turpin, we'll see what kind of role he has. We don't know what's going to happen with Flournoy. I don't think he sees the field no matter what, because he's just small school. But Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, see who takes that. John Stevens, tight end. I got the other undrafted tight end. So the tight end room is looking good. Hendershot got to worry about it. Hendershot got to worry about that spot. It could be curtains for you, dog, because John Stevens, they was loving him last year, and I think they feeling the same about him this year. We ain't tripping on Fergie because we know what he is. Schoolmaker, they say he looking a little better. I'm not high on the Michigan players, but let's see. All right, it's only the second year, so let's see. I'm showing y'all, if y'all haven't been watching this whole tape, I'm showing a whole lot of positivity right now. So everybody says I'm a negative motherfucker. I'm only negative against the Joneses. Okay, yeah, the players, we got to win games. They are on the field and the Joneses ain't, so they got to step up and be better. But my negativity is toward the Joneses and really not the team. It's toward them, and they get on my nerves, not my Cowboys. I love my Cowboys and the players. I don't love the Joneses. I'm over them, and I'm going to talk about them every chance I get because I don't feel them, and I'm going to do that. But as far as the team, I still feel like it's missing pieces, and I don't feel like it's going to win because of that factor upstairs, but it's still young. It still could win 9-10 games easily because of the talent you have, and we'll see what happens. Running back room, Royce Freeman, okay. Rico Dowdell, Zeke Elliott, I still not feeling good about the running back room, but I still feel like you need a home run threat. I feel like it's going to get bogged down. I think you're going to see that during the season when it happens if you don't upgrade it. I think you're going to see it in the season. A lot of people will find out that it's not what people think it is. Trey Lance, they said he ain't even looking like NFL quarterback per Bobby Bell. We'll see. I said the Joneses was goofy for trading because that was only just for Dak. I made the video, hey, Trey Lance is here, but, we'll see. That whole thing is a little fiasco in its own. I don't want to talk about it. Mozzie Smith. They said weight's up. He's up to 310. He's looking more explosive on his first step. Looking faster. Processing things more. That happens in your second year than your first. Especially maybe when you're taught to do things that you weren't taught over there at Michigan. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not giving anybody the benefit of the doubt, but from a fan and a content creator, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt this year. Let's see. And that's pretty much it. But my last few things I'm going to say, and this is about the Joneses. First of all, I just don't want to hear Jerry talking. You just be talking, he comes in the media talking about how much he loves Mike McCarthy, how much I love Mike McCarthy, and how everybody else loves him. And Mike McCarthy, this was the best. Look at all them winning seasons he has. And I tell you, I just love that Mike McCarthy. But you still only got him on a 1-year deal. You love him so much, but you don't show your love for him by signing them. If you love him so much, then say, hey, I believe in you. You've had 3 straight 12-5 seasons. That hasn't happened over 20 years, since the 90s when we won Super Bowls. But because you haven't got it done in the playoffs, I'm not going to extend you yet. I need to see one more year. But I love you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. You're the best coach ever. Blah, 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 blah. But I ain't going to extend you. I'm not going to give you another deal, even though I can, and you don't count against the cap. I can pay you and don't. Yeah, so I ain't listening to that dumb shit that Jerry be talking about, bro. You just be talking. And then here's Stephen Jones coming. Number one, I wish the Cowboys media would just stop talking to these dudes every day about the same dumb thing. I don't want to hear it. Like, why y'all keep talking to them about the same damn thing? But in a nutshell, he's talking to Stephen Jones, and what does Stephen Jones always do? What I told you I hate he does. Whenever you start to talk to Stephen Jones about a damn contract, he always got to bring up somebody else. First, he talking about Dak. Oh yeah, I know Dak. Well, just look at Matthew Stafford's situation. You know, he was with the Lions. He homegrown with Texas. Look at him. Was with the Lions, constantly losing. Guess what? The Rams get him. And then he was the reason why they won a championship. No, he wasn't. That damn defense, Aaron Donald, he done played aggressive in them playoffs, but obviously he gave him a chance. But Jared Goff gave you a chance. Jared Goff just went to the Lions, and they went to the NFC championship game, and they should have really went to the damn Super Bowl if they didn't choke. So, was it really Matthew Stafford? Because Jared Goff gets traded and goes to the Detroit Lions and helps get them right back to an NFC championship. So I don't know if it's just Matthew Stafford like that. And he went to a Super Bowl with the Rams. So I don't know if all that, Stephen Jones, I don't know if the hell is you talking about. And then you talking about he was the reason. Look, he came in the right situation, chemistry, everything worked. And we think that about Dak. You can't compare those situations, in my opinion, because Dak ain't been traded over here. Y'all don't put all y'all energy into free agency like the Rams did. They went all out. They made crazy moves. You feel me? They made crazy moves to get what they needed to get. They made trades, Jalen Ramsey. They traded for Stafford. Dog, they went and got, Von Miller, I think. Dog, they went all in. They went ham. And then wasn't Steven the same man that was dissing the Rams? Like, oh yeah, everybody wants us to be like the Rams. You know, they won that Super Bowl, but guess what? The Rams got to come back and pay that salary cap and all this and that. He was just dissing them 2 years ago when everybody was like, why don't you be like the Rams? Now all of a sudden you're getting Matthew Stafford all these damn props talking about, oh, Matthew Stafford this, Matthew Stafford that. You always are talking about somebody else's money or somebody else's contract when dealing with Dallas. I wish you stopped that. Then you go out here and then you're talking about Pat Mahomes. Look at Joe Burrow. He's the bar at $55 million. Look at Pat Mahomes. All he got to do is raise his hand. He can get the money he wants. But look at them over there is, guess what? You know, he left some money on the table. I'm reading this. He left some money on the table for championship. Travis Kelce, he left some money on the table. You know, they could have got more money, but look, they didn't do that because they want to win. They want to be able to spread it out. And that's what he said. But you know what Pat Mahomes also said? He said, I got great communication with my front office. The great communication. I don't know if Dak Prescott has great communication with you guys. I don't know that. I hear they have great communication over there. And guess what? After you win a couple Super Bowls, right? You probably say, I don't need that money. Let's keep on. We're winning. Dallas ain't won shit. Okay? Dallas ain't even been to an NFC championship. So it's a little different when Travis Kelce said he don't want money. And there's a little difference when Pat Mahomes said they ain't got money. They're winners. They're winning consistently. They're going to the AFC Championship year in and year out. So if I was a player and we're going to the AFC Championship year in and year out in Super Bowls all the time, yeah, I don't need to get all that crazy money, be top market guy, because guess what? We winning, and I want to stay winning. I want to stay winning championships. I want to stay, so yeah, you ain't got to pay me that much because we already got Super Bowls. I got endorsements, all that. We're winning, so I don't want to break that. Dallas ain't won shit. They ain't winning, and so you're going to tell me if Dak take a little less, you're going to go out there and get a free agent? You ain't did it yet. You ain't proved it yet. So if CD or them guys take less, you're going to move that money around and go out there and get a dog free agent? No, you're not. You're going to just supposedly pay your own and stay cheap, bro. So I'm not listening to that theory that he's talking about. I'm not feeling it. This video went a little bit longer than normal, but I want you to watch the whole thing because I want you to listen to the things I said at the end of this when you're talking about Steven having people not take much money when they're winning. Dallas ain't winning. So players are going to be like, I need to get everything I can because I don't know nothing about I don't know about this organization. You're going to take less money and we ain't won shit. And I ain't never seen you build the team correctly. You're just getting all these young players, cheap guys, don't even try to get one difference maker in free agency, and then you want me to take less money and we ain't won nothing? I doubt it. Ain't nobody in their right mind doing that shit. If Dallas was consistently winning and consistently going to championships every year, then maybe you would see them players do that. But they ain't doing it, so that's why they're asking for this money. So figure it out, Joneses. And that's my thoughts. Big Game James, I'm out. Peace.